तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ, आ जाओ चांद मेरे।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are gathered here to commemorate the Majlis for Ayyam-e-Azha with the students of Hussainiat School of Azadari. I'm Marissa Jaffrey.
I'm Fatma Zedi. I'm Mariba Jaffrey.
Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam was the youngest and the last martyr among the Imam Hussein's family. He was only 6 months old, and on the day of Ashra, when Hazrat Ali Asghar heard the Imam's call for help, Hal min Nasir Yansurna, which means, is there anyone to help us? Upon hearing this, the little baby Hazrat Ali Asghar started crying and threw himself off his cradle.
Imam came towards the tent and asked Rabab to bring Asghar. He took Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam to the battlefield, hoping that the army of Hussein will give some water to the baby. When the army heard the cry of the little baby, they started crying themselves.
When the leader of Yazid's army, Ibn Ziyad, saw this, he called Harmala, his best arrow shooter. Harmala shot a 3-headed arrow at the baby, which pierced the neck of Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam.
आइए मजलिस का आगाज करते हैं.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم.
हो मेरे लाल कहाँ, हो मेरे लाल कहाँ, हो मेरे लाल कहाँ, हो मेरे लाल कहाँ. हाय जंगल का वो सन्नाटा, वो पुरहोल फिजा और ऐसे मैं किसी दुख भर दिल की वो सदा जैसे बिछड़ी हुई औलाद को ढूंढे कोई माँ, हो मेरे लाल का कहाँ तुम गए जब से अजब हाल है बेटा मेरा कोई सूरत से नहीं कल्ब संभलता मेरा गोद उजड़ी है नजर आता है झूला वीरान हो मेरे लाल कहाँ खुद बखुद थे उठे जाते है लेने को तुम्हें कब से बेचैन हूँ मैं लोरी यादें को तुम्हें हो गई रात बसब गोद में आओ मेरी जान हो मेरे लाल कहाँ किसकी आगोश है इस बन में बसाई बेटा नींद किस तरह हाँ मुझे छोड़ के आई बेटा माँ को भी पास बुला लो वहीं सोते हो जहाँ हो मेरे लाल कहाँ
For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع قلوبنا وحبيب نفوسنا خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين ومولانا أبو القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم مغفرة وأجر عظيم صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
We begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. He whose name is remedy, whose remembrance is a cure, and whose obedience is wealth. He who has the power to give life and to take it away, who has blessed us with bounties we cannot thank him enough for, and who has created many, many ways for us to guide us to the right path, and who has provided us in many ways in which we can repent for our wrongdoings. The ayah that I had the privilege to recite in my khutbah is from Surah Ma'idah, ayah 9, which translates as follows. Allah has promised those who believe and do righteous deeds that for them there is forgiveness and great reward. Salawat. Indeed, there are many, many ways in which one can perform righteous deeds, in the form of salah, Saum, zakah, jihad, and so on. One of the forms of performing righteous deeds is sacrificing for the sake of Allah. In a narration when our holy Imam, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, salawat, was asked to define generosity, Imam alayhi salam turned the question around to the asker and asked, "How do you define generosity in your tribe?" The companion then said that when we are given something, we're thankful, and if not, we're patient. The Imam replied, "I don't wish to na'udhu compare you with dogs, but don't you think that the dogs in Medina are not different from you? For when they are given something, they are thankful, and if not, they are patient." The companion then said, "We want you to define generosity for us." The Imam replied that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a blessing, we sacrifice it in the name of Allah. And if not, then we are thankful. My dear brothers and sisters, let me ask you something. Is there anyone who is exempt from sacrificing? Whether you like it or not, you will have to sacrifice something. For example, we sacrifice our time for studying so that we may achieve something in this world. If we want to live and eat, we have to sacrifice money. So when we are given something, it is for us to use as a stepping stone, for us to sacrifice for self-development. Sacrificing for the sake of Allah is what separates the truthful from the hypocrites, and it is one of the highest forms of righteous deeds that one can do. So sacrifice sleep for Fajr, sacrifice hunger for Saum, and sacrifice time to gain knowledge. Salawat. And who is a better example of sacrifice than our holy Imam, Imam Hussain alayhi salam? What did he not sacrifice to protect Islam, to enjoin good and forbid evil? Without a doubt, every sacrifice in Karbala holds a special place, but the heart and soul cries out when we think about the 6-month-old son of our Imam, Ashra Ali Asghar alayhi salam. When the afternoon of Ashura arrived, every companion and every family member of the Imam was brutally martyred. When no able man was left in camp, Imam Hussein went to a small mount, then he called out loudly, "Is there anyone to help me? Is there anyone to help the grandson of the Holy Prophet?" But alas, no one answered our Imam's call. Mullah heard the sounds of crying coming from his tent, so he returned back to his camp, and he called out, "Zainab, your brother is still alive. Why are you crying?" The baby replied, "My brother Hussein, when you called out for help, little Ali Asghar fell from his cradle." Our Mullah knew what Ali Asghar was trying to say. He went to Rabab and said, "Give Asghar to me. I will go get water for him." Rabab changed Ali Asghar's clothes, and the Imam covered him with his abba to protect him from the scorching sun and took him to the battlefield. He walked to Yazid's soldiers, held the baby with both his hands and said, "O soldiers of Yazid, you feel that I have offended you, but what has this little child done to you? His mother's milk has dried up, and he has not had a drop of water for 3 days.
He's dying of thirst. I beg you, give water to this innocent child. If you think that when you give water to him, I will drink the water too, I will put him on the ground. You can come and give him water yourself. Imam Hussein placed Ali Asghar on the burning sand of Karbala. The Imam, still, no water came for Ali Asghar. The Imam picked up Ali Asghar and said, "My son Ali Asghar, you're the grandson of Ali. My son, fight your jihad with your tongue." The little baby sucked out his dry tongue and moved it around his dry lips. Seeing this, Yazid's soldiers started to become restless. Some of them started crying. Umar Saad got worried that his soldiers would turn against him. So he ordered, "Harmala, what are you waiting for? Silence the little child. Don't you know he is a grandson of Ali?" Harmala aimed an arrow at Ali Asghar. A small arrow for a little child? No, an arrow not with one head, not with two heads, but with 3 sharp heads. The arrow flew across the desert of Karbala. It went through Imam's arm and lodged itself in the tiny baby. The little baby died instantly. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Our dear Imam, the poor father who came to get water for his child. Instead of water, Ali Asghar got an arrow on his neck. Our Mawla turned to go back to the tents, but hesitated, thinking about the mother anxiously waiting for her baby. 7 times Mawla went forward and then turned back. He finally reached the tent and said, "Rabab, come and take your Ali Asghar. Rabab, your little soldier was sacrificed for the sake of Islam." The mother took her little child and cried her heart out. Then the Imam and our baby Rabab walked to the back of the tent. The Imam dug a small grave with his sword, and the mother placed Ali Asghar in the small grave. My fellows of Dahar, can a sacrifice be bigger than this? My Mawla, may we be sacrificed on you. Where could our Imam get water to sprinkle on Ali Asghar's grave? The parents sat by the grave crying, and the little grave was sprinkled with Hussein's tears. Allah loves Allahi wa lakum as-salimeen.
आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, मेरे लाडले कहाँ हो, सीने तुम्हें लगाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. बेटा तुम्हारा कातिल मेरे सामने खड़ा है, जाने क्यों हंस रहा है. चादर भी लुट गई है, मुंह किस तरह छुपाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. तेरे झूले को सकीना रो रो के झूमती है, तुझे में ढूंढती है. तेरी मौत की खबर में कैसे उसे सुनाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ. लगता है माँ से असगर नाराज हो गया है, मक़तल में
तेरी माँ हूँ, आ जाओ चांद मेरे, तेरी प्यास मैं बुझाऊं, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ, असगर मैं तेरी माँ हूँ।